Hi guys, my name is Yesenia Gallardo Avila and I'm the program coordinator for the Inventor program. Welcome to the Inventor family and congratulations on joining the program. We've developed this series of 4 webinars to help you guys with your business development skills. We hope that you will take what you've learned in these modules and incorporate it into your pitch deck, into your business plan, and into your financials. Most importantly, we hope that you will use this information to make a strong case for the commercialization potential and the market potential of your invention. Let's get started. Hi everyone, and welcome to the second module for Inventor. Today we'll be focusing on business development for innovators. Thank you very much to the Inventor sponsors, the Lemelson Foundation, Portland State University, and JAMA Software. Our topic today will be value proposition and understanding customers. I'll be sharing some tools today to help you understand how to create a value proposition that connects directly to your customers and creates value for them. There are lots of bad business ideas out there. This state-of-the-art juicing machine is called the Juicero. It went on the market a few years ago for $400 and raised $120 million from investors. A little playing around with the Juicero, though, actually demonstrated that you could just cut the package of juice and pour the juice into a cup, and there was no need for the $400 juicing machine. The Juicero is an example of a product that went under fairly quickly because they didn't have the right product market fit. In other words, they didn't have a product that directly responded and managed to center customers' needs and as a focus for the product. Today, the tool that we'll be focusing on that will help you avoid startup failures like the Juicero is called the Value Proposition Canvas. It's designed by Strategizer and is meant to be worked directly with the business model canvas. The value proposition canvas feeds directly into 2 of the building blocks of the business model canvas. We suggest that you watch the business model canvas module after learning how to work with the value proposition canvas so that you can understand how these 2 tools work together to create a sound business model. The value proposition canvas has 2 different sections. The right side is called the customer profile and focuses on understanding the needs of your customers. The left side is called the value map, and this is where you map out how your business model or your product or service specifically addresses the customer's needs. You always want to start the value proposition canvas by knowing exactly what customer segment you're working with. For example, if you were to develop a business model canvas for Tesla, you would want to understand your customer segment. And in Tesla's case, the customer segment that they tend to focus on are upper middle class folks with high incomes, because who else could afford a Tesla? If you have a business that has multiple customer segments, for example, Uber, which has passengers and drivers that are both required for the business model, you'd want to create a separate value proposition canvas for each of your customer segments. So let's begin with the customer profile, the right side of the business, or the right side of the value map, that value proposition canvas, the one with the circle and the smiley face in the middle. The customer profile is made up of 3 different sections: customer jobs, customer pains, and customer gains. Let's jump into the customer jobs. The customer jobs section describes the problem that your customer is trying to solve, or the job or thing, task that they're trying to complete or perform. Jobs can be either functional, social, or emotional. It can be a regular functional problem, for example, a task that they're trying to complete, getting from A to B, for example, or making a phone call or telling time with a watch, but they can also be social or emotional. Customer jobs can be something that is a need to convey a particular social status or a certain perception of others. It can also be emotional. It can be a feeling that they're also wanting to convey or feel. Customer pains are the things that annoy your customer before, after, but especially during the job or the task or the problem that they're trying to solve. These pains can be things that cost a lot of money, things that waste time or money for your customer. They can be particular risks or dangers or security issues that they face. They can also be functional. So perhaps your particular product doesn't have features or all of the features that your customer would like, but they can also be social or emotional. They can be products that make the user feel bad or look bad when they're trying to perform their job or using your product. And they can also be ancillary, so things that annoy them at other points of trying to perform the job. So for example, delivery that takes a really long time to receive a product, or perhaps the packaging that is really difficult to dispose of. And the last part of the customer profile are customer gains. These are the outcomes or benefits that your customer is looking for. In general, customer gains fall into categories of those that are required, those that are expected, and those that are desired or not totally expected. So if your product is a watch or a wearable device watch, the thing that is required of it is that it probably needs to be able to tell time. It's the must-have. There are a few other things that we now expect of things like watches. So they, in addition to being able to tell time, they also need to be able to be easily charged, have Bluetooth capabilities, etc. And if you develop a wearable watch device of some sort, there are ways that you can go the extra mile. So the Fitbit, for example, helps you track your fitness. And then going the extra mile are those things that your customer had no idea they even wanted, but that your product can offer them. Let's move to the left side of the value proposition canvas, which is the value map. The three sections of the value map are products and services, the gain creators, and the pain relievers. The products and services section is pretty straightforward. What you want to capture here is a list or a short description of what exactly you sell, make, or provide. There are a few different types of products and services. Your product or service or business could be tangible or physical. You could be selling, for example, a wearable device, books, clothing, furniture, food. It could be intangible. You could be doing consulting or repair, but it could also be digital, an app or software of some sort. You simply want to be able to capture the essentials of what your business does. Pain relievers capture exactly how your product addresses a customer pain or solves a customer problem. You want to connect all of the pain relievers exactly to the customer pains in the customer profile. If your customer tells you that there's a particular pain they're facing, you want your product to be able to respond to that particular pain. You don't have to solve every single pain. In fact, very few products or no products at all usually can solve every single pain, but you want to focus on the 2 or 3 most important ones for your customer. And lastly, there are gain creators, which describes how your product creates gains for the customer. Again, you want to connect this to the customer gains portion of the customer profile. What is it that your customer is looking for, and how does your product actually offer these gains? The goal of working with the value proposition canvas is to be able to create a really solid value proposition statement. A value proposition statement is a short statement, usually a sentence or two, that describes exactly how your product or service creates value for the customer. There's no secret sauce to developing the proposition statement other than you really want it to be clear, and you want it to be able to connect exactly what your customer's problem is and how your product or service solves that problem, aka creates value for the customer. One simple tool, however, was developed by adlibs and is an adlib form of a value proposition statement. This statement goes something like this. Our blank, where you would describe your product or service, helps, and then insert your customer segment, who want to discuss what it is your customers are looking for, avoid/reduce, and then explain exactly what they want to not have happen here, and then insert the outcome that they're looking for. By using this value proposition adlib statement, you can create a value proposition as a starting point. Keep refining it until it sounds solid and is short. Another way to think about this is sort of a short elevator pitch for your business. One example of a value proposition statement is the following for a gluten-free bakery. Our gluten-free baked goods helps people with gluten allergies or intolerances who want to enjoy delicious treats and avoid body pains and foggy brains, and enjoy sweet, delectable breads, cakes, and muffins. Try a value proposition statement using the ad libs for your own product or service. Here's another example of a really good value proposition statement from Uber. Uber's value proposition statement is, Uber is the smartest way to get around. One tap and a car comes directly to you. Your driver knows exactly where to go, and the payment is completely cashless. I want to point out that this is not the same thing as a business model. It doesn't tell you exactly how Uber makes money. In fact, Uber's business model is that they connect passengers and drivers, and they take a percent commission of each of the drives. That's not the same thing as the value proposition statement. You'll see that the value proposition statement is fully focused on how the product provides value to the customer. Let's take a look at one more value proposition statement from Apple. Apple's value proposition statement is, the iPhone, is every iPhone we've made, and we mean every single one, was built on the same belief that a phone should be more than a collection of features, that above all, a phone should be absolutely simple, beautiful, and magical to use. Again, Apple's iPhone here is centered on what the customer is looking for: beauty, simplicity, and ease of use. It is not the exact same thing as the business model, which focuses on the transaction and how the company makes revenue. What you have when you look at the value proposition canvas is sort of a roadmap for understanding the customer and then connecting the values of your product to the customer. If you successfully do that, you have what's called product customer fit. But I want to focus on the fact that the customer profile are the sections of the value proposition canvas that you don't get to decide. You want to listen to your customer, receive their feedback, and then build a product that does respond to these by focusing on the things that you can change, which are the choices that you make. The choices that you make are reflected on the left side of the value proposition canvas on the value map.